You?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking.
How's your
I'm
day?
great. I feel a little bit sleepy
Sorry, can you
because
repeat that?
I'm feeling sleepy because now my time is 2 a.m. in my area.
Yes, it's very late.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get my classes moved up so I have more in what's the morning here, but I have to wait for several weeks. But soon I will have classes in the morning here, in the evening for you.
Great, great, interesting.
Did you
So,
add me on LinkedIn, Ahmed?
yeah.
How did you find me? I thought, oh, this is one of
Mm,
my students.
yeah, right. Like just write your name, LinkedIn. I see direct your picture.
Uh-huh.
So I remember like I attend one class with you in building.
Mm-hmm.
So I send like a request.
Yes, I saw that. I don't really use LinkedIn. Do you use it?
Mostly like yeah, you can say like this, but not like just to see like my friends' profiles,
Mm-hmm.
uh, recommend some friends. See
Mm-hmm.
like this, like in professional careers only.
Mm-hmm. I might use it more if I'm looking for another job next year,
Mhm.
but I currently work at a college here, so I'm good. And it looks like we've got Elcio with us. Hi, Elcio.
Hello, Maureen.
How are
How
you?
are you? I'm great.
So, Elcio, I think it's best to turn off the video to have a better connection. That's
Okay.
good. But it's nice to see you. Thanks for coming back to my class.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, João.
Hi.
How are things in Brazil?
It's so we have streak, streak, bus streak.
Can
The,
you type it?
uh,
Strike?
A strike?
yes, the people
Oh,
don't work. Yes,
a
right.
strike.
Yes.
Are you on strike?
No, I'm
Just
working.
the just the buses?
Yes, the bus is my but I'm in car.
Oh, okay, so that's good. You have a
Yeah.
car. That's
Yes.
much better than worrying about the bus. Is there a lot of traffic in where you live?
Yes. In São Paulo, I live.
Yes, I've heard there's a lot of traffic there.
Yes.
Okay, so today we're doing a quick write. So I'm going to give you, I decided to extend the time. We're going to take 20 minutes to do writing, and then we'll discuss in the rest of the class. So hopefully some students will join us. But for now, I'm going to give you your quick writing topic. And I want to say you can be creative. You can come up with any kind of story you want. It doesn't have to be true, obviously. You can use any examples you want. And so I came up with this prompt, the writing prompt, and I'll let you get started. So I'm going to type that into the chat. Okay, can everyone see the chat?
Yeah.
Okay, so the prompt is, I knew he was lying when. So I'm going to give you about 20 minutes to write everything you can think of, and write your story, and then we'll come back together and discuss, okay?
Okay, great.
Okay, I'll see you in 20 minutes.
I will try.
Sorry?
I will try because I am beginner,
Oh, you just try your best. Just write what you can, okay?
of course. Sure.
Hi, Shafar.
Hi.
So, Shafar, we're doing a quick write. So, I'm going to type the prompt for you, and then you have to write as much as you can in the next 20 minutes, okay?
Okay.
Here you go.
Hello.
Yes? Jafar, did you get the prompt? Click on the chat button.
Okay, I know.
Okay.
How many paragraph?
Sorry?
How many what?
As many as you can. You only have 20 minutes, so as many as you can.
Okay.
Teacher,
Yes?
need to a big story or a short story?
Well, it depends on your definition, but just take all the time you have to create your story.
Okay.
Okay, everyone, time's up. How'd it go? All right, everyone. Time's up. How'd it go? Are you finished?
Almost done, but if okay, no problem. I can.
Almost. Sure. I need to.
Almost done? Okay, so maybe a couple more minutes. Why don't we start in, let's say, 3 more minutes?
Okay.
Sure. Okay.
I'm ready, Maureen.
Okay, very good.
Done.
Okay. Joao, are you ready too?
Yes, I'm ready.
Great. Okay, so who would like to go first?
I
I
can.
Okay, so I think let's start with Elcio. Did you type your story or did you write it down?
go copy and paste
Okay,
in the chat box.
thank you. Okay. Whenever you're ready, Elcio, please read your story for the class.
I knew he was lying when he stayed a little strange with me because he was a big liar. He told me that he bought a huge car, a very fast car, that can be turned into a robot, like a Transformers the movie. I knew that was a big lie because the car had not wheels. The car was made of the old paper. The car looks like a Japanese origami, totally smashed. Everybody knew and thought the car was weird.
Good.
Until one day the rain melted it. To stay better than he, I made a plane of paper and left forever.
Very good. A very interesting story. Okay, so I'm going to read your story out loud, and I just want you to pay attention to the pronunciation, okay?
Okay.
So I'll read for everyone. I knew he was lying when he stayed a little strange with me, because he was a big liar. He told me that he bought a huge car and very fast car that can be turned into a robot, like Transformer the movie. I knew that was a big lie because the car had not wheels. The car was made of the old paper. The car looks like a Japanese origami, totally smashed. Everybody knew and thought the car was weird until one day the rain melted it. To stay better than he, I made a plane of paper and I left forever. Okay, good job. But let's go over this and we'll look for any mistakes and see if we can correct them together. Okay? So, in the first sentence, I knew he was lying when he stayed a little strange with me. Now, I don't know what you mean by the word stayed, but I'm not sure that's the right verb. So can anyone think of a different verb to use?
Perhaps was.
Was. I knew he was lying when he was a little strange with me. That's a great replacement. Anything else? You could also say, I knew he was lying when he acted a little strange with me. People tend to act a little strange when they're lying. So why don't you replace the word stayed with acted? And yeah, acted. And tell me, read that sentence again and use the word acted.
I never see the word.
Okay, to act is the verb, and it means to have a certain behavior, like an actor.
Okay.
Okay? So please read the sentence again and use the word acted instead of stayed.
I knew he was lying when he acted little strange with me.
And when you're doing the pronunciation, don't drop the word a. Okay? I knew he was lying when he acted a little strange with me.
I knew he was lying when he acted little strange with me.
A little strange with me. He acted
A little strange, né?
because he was a big liar. Okay? So liar is spelled like that. He told me that he bought a huge car and very fast car that can be turned into a robot. Okay, so I want you to read this part again. Turned into a robot. And work on your pronunciation of the word turned.
Turn into.
Okay, so for a lot of native Spanish speakers, you're a native speaker of Spanish, right?
Yes.
Yes. They often forget to pronounce the final syllable when it's a word that ends with the d sound. For example, turned. Okay? And you, when you were reading it, you said turned.
Turn into.
Okay, so I want you to work on emphasizing that final d sound. Turned.
Okay, and it's a flap D.
Can you try that again? Repeat after me.
Okay.
Turned.
Turn.
Good. Turned into a robot, like Transformer the movie. Okay, if you're referring to a movie, you have to say like in.
Like in Transformer, the movie.
Yeah. Or you have to say like in the movie Transformers, like this. Like in the movie Transformers.
Like in the movie.
Because when you say like, you mean such as in the movie Transformers.
Transformers.
Okay? I knew that was a big lie because the car had not wheels. Okay, we don't say the car had not wheels, but there is another way to say that sentence. Does anyone know?
No, I don't know.
Okay, anyone else? Maybe Joao or Ahmed? How can we change that sentence to be correct? Because the car had not wheels. So it's actually going to be because the car did not have wheels.
That's
Okay?
simple. Did not had wheels.
Did not have wheels. Okay?
Have.
Because the verb to do, as in did, is the verb that is conjugated in the past tense. The car did not, and therefore you don't have to conjugate have. It stays in the infinitive. Did not have wheels. Okay? Great. The car was made of the old paper. Now, have we ever talked about definite and indefinite articles such as the? You don't need a definite article when you're talking about something in general, okay?
And old paper.
The car was made of old paper. There's no need for the word the.
Without article.
Because you're not referring to a specific old paper, if you said the car was made of the old paper that came from the factory, that's a specific amount of old paper. But this is just old paper in general.
Any old paper.
Sorry?
This is any old paper.
Yeah, any old paper. Any old paper you find. Good. So in that case, you don't need to have the article the. The car was made of old paper. The car, and here we have, it says the car looks like a Japanese origami. So again, this happened in the past because all your other verbs are conjugated to be the simple past. So you need to say the car looked like a Japanese origami. So can you?
Looked like.
And it's not looked, okay? This is really tricky for Spanish speakers, but it's the word look and then t. Looked.
Looked.
No, it's not looked. Say the word look.
Look.
And then t.
Look.
Looked.
Looked.
That's not it. We're going to try this until you get it, okay, LCO? Just stick with me. Say the word look.
Look.
And then make this sound. T. Looked.
Looked.
Perfect. There you go. That's it. It's really hard, but it's something you have to learn if you want to sound more like a native speaker. If you say looked, people will not know what you're saying. So you want to work on this. Say turned, looked. This is one of the trickiest parts about learning English, is those final D and T sounds. Okay? And then a Japanese origami. Are we talking about a specific piece of origami, or are we talking about origami in general?
In general.
So we do not need an article. The car looked like Japanese origami.
I already deleted the article.
Perfect.
Like a Japanese origami.
Like Japanese origami.
Origami.
Good. Totally smashed. Everybody knew and thought the car was weird. Okay, you corrected yourself. So weird is a tricky word to spell, but it's spelled W-E-I-R-D. Weird. It's a weird word. Until one day the rain melted it. To stay better than he. Okay, who knows what's wrong with this part? To stay better than he. Here, he's the direct object. So to stay better than him.
Than him.
To stay better than him, I made a plane of paper and I left forever. Good. Okay, you can also say I made a paper plane. That's probably the better way to say it, because we do have this idea of a paper plane, like when you fold the paper and you make it into a plane like that. Okay, very good, Elcio. Thank you for going first. And I think Joao was ready to go next.
Thank you.
You're
Yes,
welcome.
I'm ready. I will copy
Okay.
and paste.
Okay. Okay, so Joao, when you're ready, you can read your story.
Okay. I knew he was lying when he said about the last night. He said a lot of bad things about the dinner, and I think the food was excellent. Only the juice was much water, but I could drink it. Okay, we can't put water in orange juice, but the orange is very expensive and he was fired last month. The things are not going well for him. He said those bad things because John didn't tell him about his job. However, nobody speaks about the mission, and he not needed have said that.
Okay, thanks for reading it. Now I'm going to read it and we'll discuss it after.
Okay.
I knew he was lying when he say about the last night. He said a lot of bad things about the dinner, and I think the food was excellent. Only the juice had much water, but I could drink it. Okay, we can't put water in orange juice, but the orange is very expensive, and he was fired last month. The things are not going well for him. He said those bad things because John didn't tell him about his job. However, nobody likes speak about demission, and he need not have said that. He not need have said that. Okay, so starting at the beginning, I knew he was lying when he say about the last night. Okay, so if it happened last night, we have to use the simple past tense. So instead of say, it should be said. Okay? When he said about the last night. Okay, we already know last night refers to the night that just happened, So you actually don't need the word the. You can just say last night. You need an article. So that sentence should read, I knew he was lying when he said about last night. Okay, then here's the other issue. There's a difference between to say and to talk. What does to say mean?
I think the same.
It's pretty similar. That's tricky. To say is more specific, okay? For example, he said, I need to leave this town. But to talk means more in general, okay? When you're talking, you are saying something. But when you're talking, it's more general. So it would be better to say, I knew he was lying when he talked about last night.
Okay.
Okay, so Joao, let's see if this pronunciation is tricky for you. Can you repeat after me? I knew he was lying when he talked about last night.
I knew he was lying when he talked about last night.
Good, okay? Talked. That's another one of those words that's the word talk, and then the t, talked.
Talked.
Kind of tricky. Good. He said a lot of bad things about the dinner, and I think the food was excellent. So on the one hand, he said a lot of bad things. On the other hand, you think the food was excellent, so instead of using and, a better choice of words would be, but I think the food was excellent.
Okay.
That's a very small error.
I use a lot of buts.
That's okay. If it's the correct word to use, then of course you should use it.
Okay.
Okay. Only the juice had much water. Okay. This word juice is a little bit tricky people to pronounce because it looks like it should be Jewess, but it is not. Okay. It's juice.
Juice.
That UI in this word makes a ooh sound. Juice.
Juice.
And just like this word, can you read the word that I just typed in the chat?
Fruit.
Good. Fruit. It's not fruit. It's not Jewess. It's fruit and juice.
Okay. Fruit and juice.
Good. Only the juice had much water, but I could drink it. So much is not the right word. I would say a lot of water. Only the juice had a lot of water, and then you have to say in it. A lot of water in it. But I could drink it. So there's actually a verb that means to put water in something like juice. Do you know the verb?
I'm lost.
It's very specific. This verb, to dilute. I just typed it into the chat. That's what it is when you put water in juice or water in something to make it not as strong. So if you pour water into juice, you make it not as strong or not as flavorful, so you dilute the juice.
Okay, I dilute the juice.
Yes, you dilute the juice. Okay? Okay, we can't put water in orange juice, but the orange is very expensive, and he was fired last month. Okay, the funny thing about this sentence is when you say, the orange is very expensive, and he was fired last month, it sounds like you're saying, the orange was fired last month.
Why?
That's something called a dangling participle. Okay, this is a very specific grammar term, a dangling participle. So you have to say, but oranges in general, but oranges are very expensive and he was fired last month.
Okay.
And the reason for that is, if you say the oranges in plural, we'll know that you can't be referring to the oranges when you say he. because you've made oranges into the plural, and then we know he refers to not the orange, but the man in the story. But it's pretty funny to me because I thought the orange was fired. How does an orange get fired? Okay, and then how about this sentence? The things are not going well for him. So again, the same issue keeps coming up of the article. When we're talking about things, we're talking about things in general, all of the things. So in general, you don't need to use an article. You can just say, things are not going well for him.
Okay.
So why don't you repeat that sentence? Things are not going well for him.
Things are not going well for him.
Good. He said those bad things because John didn't tell him about his job. However, okay, so here's another, I'm actually doing a lesson on this tomorrow. This idea of nobody. So is nobody one person or is it many people?
Many people.
It seems like it, but it's not. When you say nobody, you mean not one body. So you have to use the third person plural. Nobody likes.
Okay.
Just like everybody, anybody, everyone, and no one, everyone thinks that it's a lot of people. It's actually always one person. Everyone. That's a tricky grammar point about English. Nobody likes, and after you have the word likes, you need to have the gerund. I think we've talked about gerunds before, so you need to add ing. For example, I just typed it, nobody likes speaking about, and what do you mean by demission?
Fired.
Okay, you could say dismissal.
Dismiss? I don't know.
Yeah, demission is not a word.
How
But I
can I
understand.
say? Dismissal?
Yeah, nobody likes speaking about dismissal or firing, you could say.
Oh, okay.
Or a better, more common way is losing your job. That's how people refer to it. Losing your job. And he not need have said that. Okay, so again, this is very similar to the problem in Elsio's essay. And he did not need to say that. He did not need to say that. I think the tricky thing comes in, sometimes people study British English, and in Britain they say he have not need say that, but it's not what we would normally say. It's not grammatically correct. Okay, but good job, Joao. It's an interesting story, but does anyone you know water down their orange juice? Does anyone dilute their orange juice to save money?
I was in one restaurant today and they dilute the orange juice.
They diluted the orange juice? Well, that's very cheap of them to do. That's very cheap. Okay, thanks, Joao. Let's hear from Ahmed. Do you have your story for us?
Yes, sure.
Great. Okay. So why don't you go ahead and read your story, please?
Okay. I knew he was lying when I asked him why you didn't come to work this morning. He told me that his grandfather died suddenly. I didn't believe him because I saw him with a beautiful girl in one restaurant in the downtown of the city. After a few hours, I had a meeting there. He thought that if I were a new manager, I wouldn't know anything about employees' games. Might he think that I was easygoing, but I wasn't. When I caught him in the restaurant, he apologized me and he said if I had met her in the evening, my girlfriend would have caught me. And when I met her now, you catch me. What should I do? He asked me. I said, you are a liar and a cheater. I will not do anything for you. You will get your punishment from your girlfriend.
Why does the girlfriend have to be the mean one? Okay, I'm going to read your story now. I knew he was lying when I asked him, why did you not come to work this morning? Why you did not come to work this morning. He told me that his grandfather died suddenly, but I didn't believe him because I saw him with a beautiful girl in one restaurant in the downtown of the city after a few hours. I had a meeting there. He thought that if I were a manager, I would not know anything about employees' games. Maybe he think that I was easygoing, but I was not. When I caught him in the restaurant, he apologized me, and he said if I had met her in evening, my girlfriend would have caught me. When I met her, no, you catch me. What should I do?
Now,
Now, right, now.
yeah,
He
sorry,
asked
just
me. I said, you are a liar and a cheater. I will not do anything for you. You will get your punishment from your girlfriend. Uh-oh. Oh, boy. Okay, so in the first sentence, I knew he was lying. So lying is spelled L-Y-I-N-G. This is another verb, laying. When I asked him, so remember when you ask a question in English, you have to flip those words around. Not why you did not come to work this morning, but why did you not come to work this morning? Okay, flip those words
like I want
around.
to, yeah,
Sorry?
just I want to put it like a statement, not a question.
Okay, I asked him why. In that case, if it's not a question, you have to say why he did not come to work this morning.
Uh-huh. Okay,
Because
so
if you say why you,
yeah,
then it's like you're quoting, you're saying what you said to him. I knew he was lying when I asked him why he did not come to work this morning. That is correct. He told me that his grandfather
okay,
died suddenly, but I didn't believe him because I saw him with a beautiful girl in one restaurant in the downtown of the city after a few hours. So instead of saying one restaurant, you should just say a restaurant. It's more common. It's the indefinite article, a. Okay. I had a meeting there. He thought that if I were a new manager, I would not know anything about employees' games. So if the games belong to the employees, remember that it's possessive. So it's employees' games. Employees, and actually if employees is plural, the apostrophe goes after the S. Like that.
yeah,
Good?
yeah.
Might he think that I was easygoing, but I was not? So I think instead of might, a better word would be maybe, right? Maybe he, not think, but in the past, because the story is happening in the past, maybe he, what's the past tense of think?
I thought,
Maybe he thought that I was easygoing. Easygoing is actually all, but I was not. When I caught him in the restaurant, he apologized to me. He apologized to me, and he said if I had met her in the evening, my girlfriend would have caught me. Ooh. And when I met her now, you catch me. Okay? So met is in the past tense. When I met her now, so you and then catch needs to be in the past tense. So how can we change catch to be the simple past?
caught.
Or you caught me. Caught.
Yeah, you caught.
Good. And when I met her now, you caught me. What should I do? He asked me. I said, you are a liar and a cheater. I will not do anything for you. You will get your punishment from your girlfriend. Okay, so girlfriend, just to let you know, girlfriend and boyfriend, those are all one word, always. If you say girlfriend, the implication is that it is not a romantic friend, it's just a platonic friend. someone
Yeah.
who is not in a relationship with them.
Mhm.
Okay, oh, these are great stories. That one made me laugh, but I don't know why it always
Thank
has
you.
to be up to the girlfriend to be the mean one. But I bet she won't be very happy about this guy meeting someone else in a restaurant.
Yeah.
Okay, any last questions?
For me, it's clear. I hope like if it is possible to do like many like that in the future.
To do more like that?
Yeah,
More quick rides?
yeah, yeah, yeah. More like food writing class because like
Okay,
it's really,
sure. Yeah, I think it's very interesting too. In fact, at my other job, I work as a writing tutor and teacher at a college here. So I'm much more used to working with people to improve their writing. And that's probably my favorite thing to do. So I'm very happy to help you with your writing. And just to let you know, if you ever have to write something in English, like an essay or a paper, and you want someone to edit it, I can also do that during the private tutoring sessions. So for some students, I will work with them and edit their papers and help them revise if they have an assignment due. Okay, so how about the other two guys? Joao, Elcio, everything clear?
For me,
Yes,
it's clear.
thanks for the
Okay,
class.
you're welcome, and I hope you guys have a nice evening. Don't get in trouble with your girlfriends. And I've got more classes coming up this week and next week, and Ahmed, I'll definitely do more writing classes. And in fact,
thank
I think we're doing a group writing class where we are
Mhm.
all going to work on a story together, and I think that's tomorrow or maybe Friday. Um,
Um,
but you should check that out, and I hope to see you all soon.
Thank
okay,
you,
good
teacher.
night.
You're
Okay.
welcome.
Bye
Bye.
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 Bye bye.